All right. So I think we're going to be going straight into the Prismatic Trial. Still have about 48 hours to kind of pull this off. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I need to go to the right to pick up a shield, go to the left to pick up a shield, and then we kind of run from there and hope. There was a lot of stuff that was available to us. I just gotta really hope that it's, you know, good stuff, and then I gotta kind of move. A lot of stuff in here that we don't care about naturally. But why am I over on this side? So. Kind of a waste to use it on one of them. They're all kind of behind me. And if I take kind of one blast from them, I will take too much damage. Still need more. I definitely want the equipment item. And then I need more money after that, I mean. Okay, game, where are my spawns? Nope. Not doing that. Okay, so there's that. I do want money, because I do need to get items. That is going to be very important. Just these two overshields are not going to be good enough at all. Let me take those guys out. I definitely need this. Not gonna allow me to hit him. He also absolutely we absolutely need this chest up here, because this chest is the Amber Brooch, so that way killing enemies will give me an overshield. That is pretty damn necessary with this attempt that we're trying to do. 1, 2, 3. Blast it. Okay, I want this mounted gun down here. I'm gonna cover my back a little bit as I go to do some other stuff. Definitely do not want to be anywhere near this set of fire guys. This will allow me to clear the level a little bit. Not terrible. We have money. Now just kind of a matter of clearing up with the stuff that I actually want. There's a bunch of items on this floor that I don't really care for at all. But there were a bunch of items that I definitely want to have. Like, I only really want this because of the, passive 5% crit. Not really important to me for any other reason. I kinda want the other one. Okay. Teleporter is good to go. We have a couple more items I can pick up. I'm trying to decide how worth it is to pick up those items. Gonna get me a bunch of money. I think is worth a little bit of time if there's any more items on the floor that matter. And that's what I'm currently on the lookout for, is if there are any other items on the floor that we actually care about. Doesn't really look like it. There, if I remember correctly, there was stuff over here. We definitely wanted, hold up. Gotta clear some enemies. That's right, we definitely want some of this stuff, because that's a tough time steady. And then this was, that's right, a ukulele. That's right. Okay, go ahead and activate. Kill a bunch of enemies using this. Detonate near the Beetle Queen to kill her. Come on. Oh, I can just freaking leave, apparently. That's good to know. Okay, so that's good to know. Okay, that would have sucked to have gotten hit by. Right. So, we have some turrets. I need to find... That's what I'm looking for. We got 2 of these down here. That's 1. We're probably just going to go straight to the end here. I'm feeling pretty solid about, like, the level of power that we have right now, so I don't really feel like we need to stick around at all. I think we can just go straight to the end. figure I'd check. You are apparently gonna cause problems. Okay, who's our boss? Of course, it's a Clay Doomstrider. Of course it is. Of course it is the hardest thing to kill as a melee. I've already taken damage. I don't know if this is doable now. Like, I was thinking this was a doable trial up until exactly there. I think we're just gonna skip this. Absolutely not. Like, that's some nonsense. I think I am gonna go with a mercenary run, though. But yeah, so like with fire as the blazing as the modifier there, basically that ends up meaning that, oh hi, you know, if you touch me, you get lit on fire. And if you get lit on fire, you end up taking, I think it's percentage damage or something like that. So there's just no way to keep your health up. If I had a good, like, ranged solution or something that would allow me to deal with him, that would be one thing. But when you combine this with, like, the concept of, you know, later on in the fight, it starts doing that suck-in thing, and it's going to start constantly absorbing health. Absolutely ridiculous. That's okay. We're gonna do an actual mercenary run. Hopefully this run will go well. And you never know. Like, I haven't unlocked the stay in the air for 30 seconds ability on the Merc. Maybe that's gonna help. I don't have it yet. See what happens. Not a single item so far, which is kind of a shame. Yeah, we got some drones, so, I mean, that's pretty good. We do have, I mean, when I say not a single item, with no passive items, which are really the bread and butter of Risk of Rain, I do have a glowing meteorite in hand, so that's going to call down a crap ton of meteors that will slam into the ground, deal damage to everything that's actually touching the ground. So if I call this in, my goal is to not touch the ground anymore. This is a great option when you are trying to get rid of a boss, as you will see when I activate the teleporter event. Because you better believe I'm going to be using this thing if I have it on me. But an option of a soldier syringe, something I don't know, and a banner. I think I'm just going to grab the soldier syringe off of this one. So our damage is pretty not good, I have to say. Don't really have much going for us apart from the glowing meteorite. And that's not something I want to say. Like, that is not a solid run when you have to say that. Hopefully that's going to get better, though. Bit of money. There was a chest or two back up here, which is the reason why I'm fighting, trying to get some cash. Definitely not much available to us, though. Okay, the ATG Mark 1 is gonna help, but yeah, that's the that's everything. All right then. Well, let's go do something stupid. Now, what boss am I fighting? Hopefully it's a Beetle Queen. Stone Titan works too. I'm okay with Stone Titan. So all of those little explosions you see around right now, that is the glowing meteorite dropping down, dealing crap tons of damage to just about everything. Now keep in mind, that does include me if I happen to be touching the ground. If I'm in the air, I'm safe, but the second I touch the ground, I am party to taking damage from all of that crap going on down there right now. 2 Titanic Knurls for my trouble, giving me a massive health boost and a regeneration boost. I'll take it. In terms of, like, what could I have gotten from that boss, that's one of the better things. So we definitely want some movement speed upgrades. We want some attack speed upgrades. I want some, you know, I want some bears. A lot of things I want to keep me alive. We want, we actually do want focus crystals. It's very weird for me to say. I always play the ranged characters, but we do want some focus crystals going on here. Okay. So, decent Titanic Plains. Holy crap, we are apparently going to be activating 2 Shrines of the Mountains in about as many seconds. Now, on this level, we're not going to be seeing a giant jellyfish. So, because we're not going to be seeing any wandering, wandering jellyfish, I'm not worried about using glowing meteorite. Glowing meteorite works very well in this situation. Oh, there's another one. So what's most likely to happen is I'm gonna get, like, you know, 3 or 4 Dune Striders, or one, either 3 or 4 Dune Striders, or one, one elite one. Hard to say which one's more likely because I hit so many shrines just now. There is just jack all back here. Guys not dying. Okay, it looks like we got a couple that are going down. So this is working out. Cautious Slug is okay. Definitely not the type of reward I was looking for. The only thing I'm really looking for are these equipment chests. I'm gonna open the equipment chests. The only things I'm actually looking for in there is a recycler. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna keep what I already have. I don't mind the armor-piercing rounds. Those aren't bad. Right now, we're just going to kind of keep moving. Okay, shield generator's good. We like those. Try to kind of kill enemies as I pass. Okay, what do we got in here? Infusion is solid. That is kind of exactly what I want to see. That's survivability. Okay, I need a little bit more money. I want to open this one. The healing little guy in the past equipment chest was not really what I'm looking for right now. Would have been nice to have if I didn't already have, if I didn't already have that, if I didn't already have Meteorite. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for either. So we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, I see a Paul's Goat Hoof, I see a Monster Tooth Necklace, I see a Monster Tooth Necklace. I think we're actually gonna spring for the Monster Tooth Necklace. That's gonna help me remain alive. Please don't shoot at me. But my damage is not particularly good. Okay, that'll help. A little bit of fiery damage when I kill an enemy. That will help me with a little bit of my crowd control. Not really the crowd control item I would like. I would love to see Will-the-Wisp. This is just kind of a poor man's Will-the-Wisp. I'm gonna go ahead and call this in. So there's that damage I didn't want to take. And that is why this item is scary. Because it doesn't care whose team you're on, doesn't care what side you're on, it just deals damage. Medkit also going to be good, so if I take a hit, about 2 seconds after I take a hit, I get a little bit of my health back. That's going to be fairly solid. I believe I only got one of them with that. We're looking at this like a backup magazine. Backup magazine would be solid, but I don't really want to give up any of my white items. I mean, maybe the Cautious Slug, but that's kind of about it. That's a soldier that running right now. 144. Reasonably certain we can make 144 in a very short period of time, given the number of enemies I'm seeing at this point. Both quantity and type. There we go. These drones will help me kind of get into a position to actually fight. Hey, Wonder Girl. Don't attack me. I promise. I don't want to have anything to do with you. You guys stay back there behind the pillar. Wow, really dry level. Yeesh. Lots of equipment chests, but very little else going for me right now. Well, that's irritating. 24 seconds until Meteorite. Part of me wants to kind of waste time until Meteorite. But part of me wants to see what we're up against, so let's go. 3 Trials of the Mountain. Okay. 2 Glacial Stone Titans. Looks like this is going to take a little bit. Okay, apparently it's not 3. It's a number more than 3, I guess. Or it's not 2. It's a number more than 2. And as usual, I get the little pop-up that covers my cooldowns, which is really bad on the Merc. Hey, got my achievement. So that achievement, for those of you not in the know, that achievement is do not touch the ground for 30 seconds as the mercenary. And it's actually meant to be solved pretty much exactly the way you're seeing me solve it right now. Oh God, I get rid of one box and another box pops up and that kills me. Oh God, because it steals I need to get rid of it. I have little alarms up, but for some reason the alarms will only show up on the main screen, lower hand corner. I cannot make them show up on any other screen. It'd be nice if I get them on my right-hand screen, you know, the screen that does not actively have a game on it. Okay, what do we get? What do we got the mark? For secondary skill, unleash a slicing uppercut, dealing 450% damage and sending you airborne, as opposed to 200%. So I think that's pretty solid. We did succeed with the captain. I didn't show this off last time. Did succeed with the captain, so the captain got the admiral colors. See that right there. Okay, I think we're gonna go with Acrid then. And this will actually be us attempting to get a win. I mean, I was attempting to get a win anyways, but, you know, freaking pop-ups making it impossible for me to see my cooldowns or see the lower right-hand corner of my screen. I know it doesn't seem like I necessarily need to see the lower right-hand corner of my screen, but when I'm fighting enemies. Acrid is very cool. So Acrid is a combination ranged character and melee character. So Acrid does a little bit of both. Big thing about Acrid is their poison ability. So Acrid passively has a poison that you get access to. There's two different poisons that you can get. One is the base poison, and one is what I am actually using, which is called Bane. And then both poisons kind of do different things. The base poison is the more powerful one out the gate. It only stacks once, but it's fairly powerful right off the bat and does some damage to enemies, damage over time. Base poison is unable to kill enemies whatsoever. So very kind of interesting thing to have. I'm actually going to trade the med kit for a bear. So good thing to have. Poison, you know, most of my attacks will spread poison. So my the third hit of my basic attack spreads poison. My jump spreads poison. My range attack that you're seeing spreads poison. And the attack you haven't seen yet, because I haven't had a reason to use it yet, is called Pandemic, which I shoot it into a group of enemies, and it actually spreads my poison from enemy to enemy based on proximity. So very good skills for Acrid to spread that poison. But I'm not using basic poison, I'm using Bane. So Bane is more powerful, but it's based on Acrid's actual damage. Poison falls off over time, because I believe it's just a set bit of damage that applies to enemies, whereas Bane is based on, demonetized word? Oh, well. Bane is 40% of Acrid's base damage, so as Acrid levels up, Bane gets more and more powerful, and as I get more things that increase my base damage, there's not very many of those, but as I get more things like that, that also increases my base damage, therefore increases Bane. So Bane tends to be the better way to go. It means a slightly rougher start to the game, because you don't do quite as much damage, but Bane can absolutely kill things, and because of Acrid's way to spread poison or Bane, Bane tends to be, like, the way you really go. Now, Acrid's kind of a weird character in that they are not melee or ranged, they are a hybrid, and they are meant to be played as such. The game describes Acrid as a hit-and-run character. We really want to go in, smack a bitch, apply our poison or our Bane, and then get the hell out as fast as we can. Acrid's a little bit fragile, does not hold up extremely. That was, so that's Pandemic, that little line you saw. But Acrid's a little bit fragile, does not stand up to much punishment, so we are definitely going to want to be looking for, you know, health regen. We're going to be wanting to look for armor. That crit's good. I kind of want a little bit of everything for Acrid, which is kind of a weird thing. And one thing Acrid does not do well with is packs of flying enemies. Because kind of the only ways I have to deal with them is either Pandemic, in which case I have to land a hit and they have to be kind of next to each other, or my right-click, with the name of which I don't remember off the top of my head. My right-click shoots a shot at an enemy, which is great, and it applies my Bane or Poison, whichever one I happen to have, and I do get up to I get to 1 charge of it now. I get 2 charges of my leap. So, you know, that shot's amazing, but I only get 1 shot of it to begin with, and it does have to recharge. So one thing I'll be hoping for in the somewhat near future is I'll be looking for backup magazines. Give me some extra stacks on that. Paul's Goat Hoof is pretty solid. That's going to give me increased leaping distance. We always like that. Crowbar is kind of okay, but I don't really want it on Acrid. I mean, I'll take it if the game wants to just flat give a crowbar to me, but I'm not going to be spending any money on it. No. I won't be spending money on it. Acrid is a character that is kind of constantly dealing damage. They don't, you know, they don't do massive damage. Hi, friend. That's got my attention. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for it. Can I get rid of the Bustling Fungus? Nope, that got rid of my attack speed. That's fine. Can I get rid of the Bustling Fungus? Nope, got rid of my bear. Okay, now I basically don't care what it gets rid of. Keeping some of those items would have been nice, but I now have I'll have a 70% crit rate by the time this is done. That is a gigantic thing to have on floor 1. This is kind of the exact type of situation that Acrid does not want to have. Lots of very good damage dealers kind of floating around. Okay, so let's get into combat here. What am I going to be fighting? Stone Titans are completely fine. We like Stone Titans. Jellyfish would have been a bit of a problem. Okay, I need to be smacking in order to get my health back. I do not want to be standing still for too long. Remember, my 3rd hit on my melee combo does heal me, so I want to be using that as much as possible. Use Pandemic to spread Bane as much as possible. That is my crowd control. There go my enemies. So I got 2 Rose Bucklers. Not really all that excited about that as an item, to be honest. Rose Buckler, all it's doing for me is it's reducing damage when I'm sprinting, and that's great and all. I'll be sprinting a lot throughout the game, but that's not really a green I'm really interested in, like, off the bat. I want something a little bit more than Rose Bucklers, especially for a, you know, early Shrine of the Mountain. So my 70% crit is coming in very solidly. I'm very much trying to consider, do I want that Transcendence over there? Transcendence reduces me to 1 normal HP, gives me a large shield. The problem is that shield does not regenerate unless I'm out of combat for several seconds. I think I'm going to skip it. But it does increase, you know, increase the shield versus my HP. So it's not that I would come to 1 HP with 447 shield. I would be 1 HP with about 600 shield. And that's a lot of health, but remember, I'm playing Acrid. I'm going to be up close and personal. I'm going to be getting hit constantly, because that's what Acrid do. So being in a situation where I'm just going to take damage and having nothing but a shield is not my cuppa. That was Bane just taking down an enemy. That is a rusty key right there. I'm not particularly interested. I may be willing, depending on if there's a green 3D printer around here somewhere, I may be willing to throw both Rose Bucklers into that Scrapper and grab something else. Sleep well, Wanda Girl. Plenty of chests, no enemies, which is a problem. I say that, enemies appear. How nice. Launch that up in the air. What do we get here? We got some gasolines. That's going to help me with my crowd control. Absolutely needed. I need more crowd control than that, actually. That's a great thing to have, but I want more than that. Let's see if we can get ourselves a little something. A little bit more solid. Meat's going to give me a little bit of health regen. Not something that I find incredibly important right now in terms of the combat health regen. It's just 2 HP per tick increased after I kill an enemy. Lasts for a couple of seconds. Killing an additional enemy just resets that timer, doesn't stack it. Personally, I prefer if it stacked it. I'd like meat a little bit more if that was the case. Okay, that got us a little bit more money. Let's go ahead and snag this. Focus Crystal, giving me extra damage if enemies happen to within a certain range, 19 meters, which is not... That's not sizable in this game. Don't need more money. We have that 3-way shop back there that I would really appreciate getting access to. Bunch of enemies over there that I would really like to not exist anymore. Luckily, I have the power to make them not exist. That is a backup magazine. I had mentioned wanting those, so now I have multiple shots of my right click that will charge up. Very good for giving me a little bit more crowd clear. Back here, we had a number of things. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to opt for a banner. And that's the power of Pandemic, sitting right there. Getting many of these enemies simultaneously without having to really spend too much time on it. Okay, we're gonna pop open another equipment barrel. Looking for recycler. Not gonna mince words. Not gonna pretend. We are absolutely looking for the ability to reroll items. I'll keep missile launcher until I find it, if I find it. Missile launcher is absolutely an awesome item. Okay, we see... I'm gonna take the Monster Tooth Necklace. That is some of that healing I was talking about. Here, you guys spread that. Have fun with that. They're offering me more crowbars. It's tempting. I think I'm gonna hold off on the temptation, but it is tempting to kind of go for that. I just don't have a lot of personal use for crowbars on Acrid. At least not at this point in the game. Oh, there we go. Got a soldier syringe back. Toss out a Pandemic for more demonetization. Okay. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have underneath the water over here. Most of the enemies around me are going to die very, very quickly. I got multiple chests over here, so this was definitely a good choice. What's more, they are chests I can afford. Topaz Brooch, absolutely a fantastic thing for me. And we got a false goat hoof back. So, movement speed returns. Okay, we're almost done with this level. We're moving pretty decently. I wouldn't say we're necessarily moving fast, but I think we are moving with reasonable haste. I see a chest right next to the exit. That's good. And get that during the teleporter event. Ooh, another Topaz Brooch. Even more shield. Take those. Here, y'all take this. I'm not dealing with y'all. You, activate. Okay. Go ahead and activate. Where'd that chest go that I saw a minute ago? There it is. Okay, it's inside. Gotta bleed. Okay, so there goes the boss. It was about as difficult as I expected it to be. One nice thing about Pandemic is it does not have to be aimed directly at an enemy. You can aim at the wall like I just did to make sure you hit kind of everybody in the area. Make sure that you won't miss when it's an up-close and personal thing. Excuse you. Enemies are dying relatively quickly. I like it. We feel both solid and powerful right now. Now remember, that can change at just about any time in this game. My friend. Okay, let's get out of here. A lot of our strength does come from the fact that we did get pretty lucky and got a very early 3D printer with a crit. Enemies will scale to that eventually. But until they do. So 7 minutes overtime to get a free Prion accumulator. And you know what? That is absolutely fine by me. Okay, so... I'm gonna apply Pandemic to this guy. Wait for money to spawn. Would not mind seeing... Okay, so there's a crowbar. Finally got one. Kind of leave him alone because he's done for. Would not mind seeing some fireworks. Fireworks would be solid items right now. We actually have a lot of basic effects I do not have yet. I would love to see a ukulele. moving right along. Exit right over between this shipping containers. Not nearly as fast as I would like to be. And that'll come with time, naturally, but... Come on, game. Okay, we do have a scrapper floating around. Haven't seen a particularly good 3D printer yet, apart from, you know, the one that we used and abused. Personal shield generator is solid. Armor-piercing rounds, same thing. Let's go ahead and pop that. And you go ahead and spread that amongst all of your friends. Y'all should have been wearing masks. Hi, Beefalo. I'm just going to be over here. Don't mind me. Okay, I see another lunar pod over there. There we go. Definitely gonna be messing with that lunar pod in the very near future. I have so many chests to open right now. It's kind of ridiculous. Oh, different times. Got our teddy bear back. Okay, where does Acrid? Oh yeah, the teddy bear's on a spike. I forgot. Waiting patiently for money to become a thing. That looks like a gold shrine. I don't have a Gore's Tome, though, so I don't know if I'm willing to go for that. I mean, let's be fair, I'll probably go for it. Oh, 1323. That is an expensive gold shrine. Not beyond the realm possibility. $13.23 is still definitely a number that is doable when it comes to gold shrines. But the problem is we still do not have... Yeah. We still do not have the requisite number of, we don't have the chests. Like, we haven't finished with the chests. So, I'm still going to be working on that number for a bit. Difficulty's going to scale up. That's what I'm trying to decide, like... How much do I want that gold shrine? Stun grenade. I believe this is my last chest that I need to worry about. Got my med kit back. Okay, so I need to pick up about 1,200 bucks. And unfortunately, unlike a red chest, that 1,200 bucks has to come before I activate the teleporter. Launch that, see if there happens to be enemies anywhere nearby that give me some money. We like stone giant spawns. Big, beefy enemies like stone giants tend to be worth money. Like dollar bills that are worth carrying. Like that. Hi, friend. I wish to see you fall over. Thank you. Right there. We need 1322. Need a couple hundred more. Not believe I hit that shot. Enemies. There we go. I need you to not exist anymore. I heard there it is. Hi, Beefalo. Excuse you. No, 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 no. No, no, we were having a conversation. You got in the way of it. Okay. We are good to go. Let's head towards the exit. Implord. Claydune Strider. Basically the exact thing I never want to see on a melee character. So naturally, I get it constantly. They're not currently in the teleporter zone. I'm going to get into the teleporter zone, so that way I have less I have to deal with. What I'm doing right now is extremely stupid. Yeah, they can curve shots around that wall, by the way. Health back here. Okay, let's swing around. Launch those in that direction. Launch that in that direction. That's the one I want to focus on, the one that's already hurt. Do not want to take. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Gonna launch a bunch of missiles. Bunch of missiles gonna get a bunch of enemies to drop. Bunch of enemies are gonna drop. Is gonna be important for me because it's gonna drop longitude necklace orbs. Guy's almost dead. One down. Teleporter event is effectively charged. Okay, so that's the thing we do not want to be part of right there. Okay. So it is no longer doing the scary attack. It is probably time for me to start getting up close and personal, especially because its health is getting awfully low. Okay. So I have two teleporters. I forgot I activated the blue teleporter. I'm gonna go for gold. It's amazing from my lips to their ears. I say I don't have a Gore's Tome. What do? They give me a Gore's Tome. You know what? That is absolutely fine. One of the stone giants. We have another one I have to take care of. I'm not really happy with that guy sitting there, but I need to take care of this first. How close to being dead? Fairly close. Oh god, I am just losing all of my health because of the fire around this thing. Okay. So we want to get rid of as many enemies as I can before I go start fighting off against Relionite. Oh, God. Like, I have a pretty cushy and good setup going on here, but it could go wrong at just about any moment. Okay, I have 4 of them left. Relionite's gonna spawn now. I only see... Oh, it's back over here. That's gonna smack almost exclusively into Relionite. It's gonna do absolutely nothing either. Okay, that Pandemic should do some good work over there. Relionite is very angry at me. Okay, the Halcyon beacons are lit. Fortunately, Relionite is not dying anywhere near as fast as I would like it to. I'd like this guy to be dying a lot faster than he is. Let me out of here. We're gonna leave. Go back a little bit later. Get a little bit of my health back. Naturally, my enemies are not tremendously big fans of the plan for me to not die. I have never had that happen before, so the beacons unlit themselves. I knew it was possible. I've never seen it happen myself. Beacon over there I gotta go deal with. Unfortunately, the ice enemies are slowing me. Unfortunately, my DPS is in an unfortunate place. Is that not the last one? Where's the last one? Is it over here? Oh, it was over here. Only good news about this, really, is that time is stopped in Relionite's realm. The game is not getting harder while I'm dealing with this gigantic golden piece of crap. Need to kill a Relionite, so that way crap stops spawning. Okay, it died. And I live, though how I live, I could not tell you. Third crowbar, okay. And, okay, Lepton Daisy is pretty solid. pretty solid. Almost left out the Halcyon Seed. That would have been terrible. Okay, what do we get for slot 4? For slot 4, we get Abyssal Depths. That's fine. I don't mind paying for my items. Right now, we're just kind of hanging tight. There's going to be items in this back chamber for me to snag. Trying to figure out which side of the tunnel I'm on. There's a lot of good items there. Oop, there's a ukulele. Having a little bit of trouble telling which side of the tunnel I'm on. Could get another sticky bomb. What I'm really trying to figure out is how close I am to any given exit. So now I know, that's exactly what I wanted to know. Pretty much exactly what I wanted to see too. I really wanted to be near one side, or near. I mean, it didn't even matter which side I was near, but I very simply wanted to be near one side of the back tunnels because that makes it easier to clear the back tunnels. Another war banner. I'm not sure how I feel about 3 war banners. That's kind of large. Then again, you know, as Acrid, because I'm kind of flying all over the place. Maybe that's a solid thing. You working our way around. The back tunnels are fairly large. That's why I kind of wanted to be on one side or the other, because of how big this area is. Okay, let's see what type of bosses await us out here. Expecting 2 to 3 bosses. Oh, there's one. Now that Imp Lord just kind of fucked off, huh? There he is. Okay, we do not want to be up close and personal with an Imp Lord if we can help it. That's how bad things happen. Okay. Getting a couple different bleeds, that's fine. I don't mind bleeds happening on me. As long as I can get a little bit of health back, which we are. I mean, I'm getting my health back, thankfully. Damn it. I wanted to land that jump on the Imp Lord and have a ton of crap for him to stand in. As you can see, my Bane is doing great damage to, you know, standard enemies. But for bosses, we're having a little bit of trouble. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that's something that we'll be able to fix over the course of this level. I expect to get a fair amount of money out of this level. Another stun grenade. let's see. Another Topaz Brooch, so we're definitely gaining the ability to shield ourselves, which is always a skill I like to have in this game. Go ahead and give that brass contraption something to think about. Got up here. I see an equipment drone, which, you know what? I'm pretty okay with putting my equipment to that equipment drone. Hey, Car, I haven't seen you in a bit. Good to see you again. Risk of Rain 2 is absolutely fantastic. I have very, very few complaints about this game. And honestly, the complaints I do have is more on the, like, man, I wish there was more type of complaints, as opposed to a actually, like, legitimate, this is not good complaint. And they're actively working on it. They said they were pushing stuff out quickly in order to, you know, kind of hit deadlines, kind of the usual gamer thing. What they said is there's going to be another major release that's going to happen sometime in the near-ish future. More items, more content, another boss, stuff like that. And then further in the future, we will be seeing, ooh, a ukulele? 3D printing. Further in the future, we will be seeing paid-for DLC that's going to be content drops. So we'll get, like, the Imp drop, for example. We're not 100% sure what these content drops will contain, but, I mean, the game's good, so I expect the content drops to be good, too. Yeah, it's... I mean, really just think of it as Risk of Rain 1 in 3D. That is very realistically what this game is. I wasn't so sure about it when I first heard the concept, because, like, hey, Risk of Rain 1, you know, that was very much a side-scrolling platformer. I'm not sure how I feel about the idea of a 3D version of that, and they just proceeded to hit it out of the park. A lot of the characters return, so I am actually playing Acrid. So if you remember Risk of Rain 1, Acrid was there, and Acrid has pretty much not changed. Pretty much the same old Acrid. And we are doing the normal thing of just kind of, you know, trying to do a, trying to do a run to get an achievement. Get an unlock. Ow. In this case, the unlock is just a skin, you know, but hey, we like unlocks around here. I'm gonna run away from that. Engineer returns. Oh, Engineer is back. The Miner is gone. We have a new character in his place. Yeah, gameplay has not really changed much. It's still that kind of go around, get a bunch of items, and then, you know, see what you want to do. The final boss is significantly stronger than Providence was, so I think that's a change that I think a lot of Risk of Rain players are going to welcome. Is a boss that you struggle with, that you don't necessarily want to have to face. I don't think I'm going to be facing him this run. This run does not feel like a final boss run. Yeah, that's kind of the fun thing in this game, is that the boss in this game is not a pushover. He effectively scales with you, I guess is the way I'm going to say that. So it is very, very easy for him to eat your face if you are not extremely careful. Okay, that's a lot of imps. It's cool. I'm just going to keep moving. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm going up here. Right now, we are on floor 4. We are gathering items. I'm basically done with floor 4 at this point, actually. And there is a guaranteed legendary chest on floor 4. that I need to gather money to get. It's going to be between 4,000 and 5,000. If I need to gather that money, that shouldn't be too hard to get, honestly, with the sheer amount of elites that are currently chasing me. Some of the floors are similarly themed. We definitely have some new floors. They also changed the order of some floors. The Contact Light is no longer the final floor. Actually, the Spirit Meadows, which used to be one of the floor 2 variants, is now floor 5. They added a bunch of different ways for things, so artifacts work differently than they used to in terms of like how you get them. They still work the same way in terms of what does an artifact do, but artifacts, you achieve them in a different way. Characters are unlocked in most of the same ways they used to be. Same with items in a, you must do this sort of strange thing to unlock this item. Okay, I think I have enough for the red. Hello. An item would be fantastic if I had an active item right now. And my red is going to be... okay. Take that. So some of the floors are the same. You know, we definitely have some of them coming back. You'll definitely recognize some of them. And then some of them are very much different. They are things that we didn't see in the previous version. New biomes, new areas. And there was supposed to be 1 or 2 additional areas that aren't even in the game yet that just... developer time made it impossible for them to get those. It sounds like those will come out soon-ish. And then content drops will be dropping new areas, it sounds like, new items. Maybe even new characters. That's the hope. Yeah, the game is pretty stacked already, though. There's a lot of game to be had in this one. Well, damn. Time to run, time to run, time to run, time to run, time to run. Aurelianite, save me! Yeah, finally got myself some fireworks. That was a miss. Little bit of a lot of stuff going on screen right now, so my frame rate is taking a bit of a dip. So one thing they added, and I don't know... Oh, okay. What hit me? Of course it did. One thing they added was that enemies that are... Like, one of your bosses, which this is what just happened. One of your boss types... can be just a large number of just... elite enemies. Which is what happened there. I had a bunch of elite brass contraptions. They do a buttload of damage, and apparently they one-shot me. So this is the new engineer. I did not want to do that. This is the new engineer. Not much has changed for the engineer. I believe his auto attack's a little bit different. We have to charge up instead of just having the balls that we just kind of throw around. You can just throw them, naturally, but if you charge it up, you get a much bigger blast of the explosive attacks. The mines are still here. That hasn't changed at all. Turrets definitely still exist. You can hear them blasting away. I can't remember if this was the case in Risk of Rain 1, but your turrets in Risk of Rain 2 actively gain your items. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, a lot of the stuff you see in here it's just a 3D version of what we had previously. They have added new items. They have taken away some old ones. I don't know if just they decided they were too powerful or if dev time was a problem. Speaking of items, I would like to find some, game. Like, I appreciate seeing 2 drones, but can I get chests? Okay, there's a shop. What's that? That's rusty key, backup bag, and bleed. Okay, I'll take the bleed. Yeah, lots of the stuff is the same. So, ends up being a really fantastic game. Multiplayer is still in, obviously. None of that changed. The multiplayer is absolutely fantastic. I've done a fair amount of it. And there's a lot of hours of content. The new, the artifact system works, I think, better than it did in the previous game. So there's a lot more kind of variety in gameplay when you start really activating artifacts. All the old good artifacts came back. So Command's back in, Glass is back in. They have a couple of new fun ones. The items up here? No? Okay. Leaving. Ow. Okay, so all of my chests were in this loop that I'm in right now. Okay, game. We're just in the direction that I did not start in, apparently. Yeah, the difficulty came back too. So I was actually having a fairly strong run with Acrid just now. And then just everything went wrong in hell. The Abyssal Depths basically just said, screw you, and ate my face. Okay. Last item. Man, a 4-item 4. That feels kind of bad. I mean, 6 if you count the 2 items I'm about to get, but... All right. 1 boss down. I was going to let my turrets do their work, but apparently this thing is going to kill one of them. Okay, there we go. What do we get? God, double red whip? Really? That's what you're going to give me? That feels bad. Yeah, I mean, enemies definitely scale well in Risk of Rain 1 and 2. Both of them, like, you really can't take enemies for granted. You do gotta kind of go in and, like, be ready to annihilate and be ready to dodge. I very frequently had deaths happen to enemies that I just can't see. They're behind me or above me or something like that. Like the brass contraption that's just... Oh, no! I do it every time! Okay. Did it work? Nope. Yes, it did. Cool. Eat. So this is a new area. This is a new area. This is a special shop that can open up. Either opens up randomly or there's certain things that you can do to open it up. It uses a special currency that is only used for what are called lunar items, which are these blue items. Lunar items are double-edged swords. They're kind of like combo good thing and bad thing items. So as an example of that, so I picked up 2 items in there. I picked up Focus Convergence, and I picked the Brittle Crown. Focus Convergence says that the teleporter charges faster, which is pretty damn useful most of the time. But the flip side of that is that the teleporter area is smaller. So that can sometimes be a little bit of an issue, in that you're either up close and personal with your enemies, or well, that's really the issue, is that you're up close and personal with your enemies, and some characters really don't like that. So Brittle Crown, I have a chance to get more money when I attack enemies. And remember, my turrets have all the same effects that I have. So I can sometimes just get money when I attack enemies, but if I lose health, I will lose money. So it's a great way to get money a lot faster in a floor, because I find that enemies do spawn fairly slowly at the start of a floor. So it's a great way to get money back faster, but also you can lose money if you don't really know what you're doing. And to get lunar items, you spend that second currency you see in the upper left-hand corner. So the first currency is, dollars. That's how you open chests. Second currency is lunar coins. Lunar coins just drop from enemies randomly. And lunar coins are either spent on lunar buds, which show up in levels directly. And so, for example, I might just see a lunar bud in front of me, and that would be like 1 coin. Or you can either get a lunar shop spawn, which would be free, or pay for a lunar shop spawn, which is 1 coin, and that allows you to go into the lunar shop, which allows you to directly buy items, which can be useful. So I ended up getting 2 items that I thought were good, but lunar items do spawn randomly. They are, they're not fixed what you're going to see as a drop. So it's not always useful to go in there. It's just kind of how lucky am I going to be today. And yeah, Will-o-the-wisps will definitely potentially lag you out still. That's not something that's really changed much. The kind of good news about that is that there are a lot more, graphical settings available, and the game is still kind of, it is fairly low weight on your system. But I definitely have times where, later on in the seed, I'll start lagging. There's our exit, but I'm not kind of prepared to do that yet. Apparently, I'm going to have all of the healing drones. Ooh, 20% crit already. That's pretty hot. So, there is the portal right there. Or not the portal, but the action right there. That opens up the Lunar Portal. Chest. Apparently, we're going to be hanging out here for a bit. I am definitely going to be losing money in a minute. Fall damage loses a lot of money with the Brittle Crown. And this area that I'm on right now, there's no way down without fall damage unless you have the Hoku Feather. So, damage is going to happen. It's probably worth it, though, for this Tier 2 chest, hopefully. Yeah, Old Guillotine is definitely a solid item. So if you were watching, you probably saw my health drop. Isn't falling damage new? I don't remember, actually. But the falling damage in Risk of Rain 2 is definitely different from, like, standard falling damage. Falling damage by itself cannot kill you. So at worst, you'll be left at 1 health. Normally, I'm not too worried about bothering dodging fall damage. Kind of an exception in this case. Exception in this case because I do have the Brittle Crowns. I don't want to just lose money for no reason. This war's almost done. Only other thing about the engineer is that in order for come back to that chest up there, because chest sometimes spawns in the water down here. And I've got the camera positioned in a weird way because I have trouble seeing the chest unless I have the camera either straight down or up. And I find if camera's up, I can see enemies better. See, here's a chest that I find very hard to see from, like, above. But from below, it's a lot more visible. And it looks like we're pretty much done on this floor. Hey, Bandolier. Now that is kind of hot. Okay, let's get out of here. Review Brass Contraption. You killed me just a minute ago. One of my least favorite enemies, Void Reavers. Without question. Void Reavers, I believe, are a new enemy type. And they're big bit of nonsense. You see how the red AoE for the teleporter event became a blue AoE and it shrunk. So the blue AoE is my new range that I'm allowed to do because of focused convergence. Which isn't a tremendous problem for me. Yeah, Void Reavers are a new enemy type. I don't remember them in Risk of Rain, so I'm pretty sure they're a new enemy type. And Void Reavers are an absolute pain in the ass. They're a walking spider type thing. And the big thing about them is that they like to root you with their abilities. They kind of stick you to the ground, make it so you can't move around. And when a Void Reaver dies, there's an AoE around them for a few seconds. And if you are in the AoE, when it goes off, you just instantly die. It is a major pain in the ass. Thankfully, Void Reavers only show up later on in the game. And they're very much a difficulty thing. Like, they're there to make difficulty harder. The Void Reavers are my least favorite standard enemy, and my least favorite boss is the Clay Doomstrider. Scorched Acres. Scorched Acres, I believe, is a new area. I don't think we had anything like this in the original. And kind of like how the... Drop this here, so we're going to be sitting here for a little bit. Kind of like how Spirit Meadows used to be the home, and still is, the home of the parents. And in Risk of Rain 1, it was the home of the children. This is the home of the Wisps. Not too pleased to see you, sir. Can you stay over on your side of the map? Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Okay. Yeah, so most of these items should be fairly familiar to you. Top left corner is going to be the tri-bladed dagger, I think it is. And that's just your bleed. And kind of similar to Risk of Rain 1, which had, what was it, like the Chef Snipe or something like that? Similar to Risk of Rain 1, it just stacks a bleed on enemies, and the more of those you have, the higher the chance of the bleed. The nice thing about Risk of Rain 2 is that that chance actually caps So once you have 7 tri-bladed daggers, every attack you do is a bleed. And that shit adds up real damn quick. So it is definitely one of those things that, like, it is really nice to see tri-bladed daggers. It's a white you definitely want to see. Next to that is the War Banner. The War Banner hasn't really changed at all. When you level up or when you activate the Teleporter event, whichever one, the War Banner creates an AoE around you. It's what just spawned. If you're in there, increase attack speed, increase movement speed. The Gasoline is the poor man's Will-o-the-Wisp. Killing an enemy causes it to explode in fire and light nearby enemies on fire. Very, very useful, too, because it does damage based on your base damage. So it can really stack the damage up pretty quick. Medkit, 2 seconds after you take a hit, you restore health. And that is also based on your health, actually. That one's a percentage restoration. So very, very easy to get a lot of health back. I believe it's 5% health restoration. It's like 20 plus 5% of your maximum health. So, you know, you have 20 of those things, and every time you get hit after 2 seconds, you get all of your health back. I've never actually stacked that high, but it works out pretty well. To the right of that, I have a double stack of Red Whip. Red Whip is one of those items I don't find particularly useful, to be honest with you. Red Whip says when you're out of combat, which means you personally have not attacked for a certain amount of time, you get a fairly significant movement speed up. It's one of the reasons why I'm moving so fast around the map right now. It's a good item, but I don't think it's necessarily like a green item. It's not like a super powerful item in my opinion. We have better versions of it in white, I think. Then there's Focus Convergence. I've already talked about that. There's Brittle Crown. I've already talked about that. The Lensmakers Goggles returns. Lensmaker Goggles are just a flat... There we go. A flat 10% critical hit increase. You start at 1% on critical hit. So I am currently, because I have 2 of those, I'm currently at 11% critical hit chance. And it's a flat increase. So once you get 10 goggles, you are at 100% crit. Monster Tooth Necklace is the next one over on the right. So that works the same way as it did in Risk of Rain 1. Killing the enemy drops a green orb, and if you pick up that green orb, you restore health. Once again, percentage-based restoration. I forget the exact percentage on that one, but it is based on your maximum health. So solid stuff there. Sticky bombs still work the way they used to, so chance of applying a sticky bomb to enemies when you attack. And the sticky bomb deals extra damage. Every attack has a chance to apply a sticky bomb. Really, really good for fast auto-attacking characters. The adrenaline you're talking about is now the soldier's syringe, which is the one to the yes, it's the one to the right of the old guillotine. I skipped one. Yeah, soldier syringe is a increase of attack speed. It is a 17% stacking increase. That stacks infinitely, so you can get pretty fast there. Paul's Goat Hoof is a increase of movement speed, and it's just a base movement speed increase. We do have sprinting in this game. I am currently sprinting. It's the animation for the sprint and the engineer. But yes, sprinting is a thing that you can do. And so Paul's Goat Hoof increases both base movement speed and sprinting movement speed. There's also an item to increase just sprinting movement speed. So you can kind of fine-tune how fast you move, whether you're moving normally or sprinting. To the right of Paul's Goat Hoof is the arm-piercing bullets, which is a flat 20% increase in damage versus specifically bosses. Solid. To the right of that is Bandolier. Bandolier causes a chance of a drop that'll happen. You'll see it happen. It's like this little box that drops. If I pick that up, it restores my cooldowns. If it's a cooldown that has a stack, like my turrets or like my mines, it will be a stack. It'll be an extra stack restoration, but that adds up really well. I'm getting a second stack of the Old Guillotine. The Old Guillotine creates an execute effect on elites. And this is a really powerful effect, too. So if there is an elite, they have a, like, health barrier that you'll see. You'll see it on this one right here. It's that little white box right there. If their health gets down to that, they just instantly die. So the Old Guillotine is effectively just health down on elites. You just have to get their health down that far. And Old Guillotine stacks, the only problem is it doesn't stack nicely. It is diminishing returns. You don't want to stack too many of them. About 10 of them gets you like a 40 to 45% health reduction for elites, which is kind of nice. I also have the Will-o-the-Wisp, which works the same as it always did. Kill an enemy and they explode, and that explosion deals damage to enemies. The Amber Brooch over there, if I kill an enemy, I get a small shield. It's a percentage-based shield versus my health, if I remember correctly. And that killing multiple enemies does stack that. So this is a very, very good way to kind of keep your health safe in case things go stupid. Stun Grenade has a chance of dropping a stun grenade when you attack an enemy. Just a chance of stunning that enemy. And the chance increases with Stun Grenade. That one does not have diminishing return. So there is a way to get 100% stun at a certain point. To the right of that is the Repulsion Armor. Repulsion Armor is nice because it is literally just -5 to any damage you would take. And you can see I'm dealing 40 damage at a time. So it's a pretty decent amount of damage reduction for you. It falls off very rapidly, but if you can stack them high enough, you actually can take down to a minimum 1 health. I've never stacked them that high. Fireworks work the same as they always did. Interact with the consumable, it sets off fireworks that seek out enemies and destroy. And then the Lepton Daisy, during the teleporter event, the Lepton Daisy will fire off, and it will heal 50% of your health. The timing of the heal is based on how many daisies you have. With 1 daisy, it's at 50%. With 2 daisies, it's at 33 and 66, and then so on and so on. I'm getting so many war banners. Now, I do have an active item that I haven't used yet. The active item I have is the Recycler. The Recycler is basically the D6 from Binding of Isaac. It gives me a one-time reroll of the item that I am currently looking at. It does have a fairly long cooldown. It gives me a one-time reroll of whatever item I'm currently looking at. And what's kind of nice about that is that it rerolls within the current item pool. So if I'm looking at a white item, it rerolls into a white item. If I'm looking at a green item, it rerolls into a green item, and so on and so forth. This can be a very powerful way to get items you are looking at. Unfortunately, you can only reroll any given item once. Drop that in there. So I really should have re-rolled that, I should have re-rolled that war banner, because I really do not need 4 war banners. You know, multiple war banners greatly increase the size of the war banner effect. So you can see, my war banner is bigger than my teleporter event is. It's huge. I'll skip this. Okay, skip a Lepton Daisy. Infusion is a little bit nerfed from Risk of Rain 1. Risk of Rain 1, Infusion just stacked you basically infinitely. Risk of Rain 2 does not have that option. We do have a limit on how we stack. It is 1 HP per enemy. That was Lepton Daisy you just saw. Yeah, 1 HP per enemy, and then maximum of 100 increased HP per war banner. Oh, sorry, per infusion. And honestly, in a 3D space, the war banner is nicer than you think. Because you are constantly dodging, you can find yourself staying in it. My war banner is absolutely gigantic. Because I have 4 of them, naturally, but... Oh! Okay. So the Bazaar Between Time has a couple different things you can do. The first thing you can get is just the Lunar Items. That's these 5 things over here. I can pick up a Lunar Item. These 3 on the right are active items. There are 4 of those lunar-wise. These 2 on the left are passive items, which is like 8 of those. You also have 2 other effects. You have the portals. So activating one of these allows you to choose which level you go to next. And then you also have the Cauldrons. These allow you to pitch in randomly. You don't get to choose what goes in, but you get to pitch in X number of whites or X number of greens, and that will turn into a green or a red. I don't really find myself wanting to get anything right. Well, I might go for a blue. I don't find myself really wanting to get anything. And the greens and the reds. Yep, you can absolutely loot. Purity again. I think I'll pass. Tempting. But you can absolutely loop. The game, unlike Risk of Rain 1, I think the scaling in Risk of Rain 2 is significantly harder. Risk of Rain 2 definitely feels like you are, you're committing to a much harder set of levels you loop. Okay, we got a Magma Worm. Go ahead and drop some stuff. Magma Worms work much the same as they always did. I find them to be a much bigger pain in the ass in Risk of Rain 2 than 1, because they are not very happy to let you attack them. They really have this habit of just, like, staying in the ground forever or, you know, not attacking very often. So it can sometimes be a pain in the ass just to get damage on a Magma Worm in Risk of Rain 2. Luckily, I'm playing as the NG, and I'm not forced to care. Hell, sure. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and refresh that. Okay, so Soulbound Catalyst was a good item. Soulbound Catalyst says that when I get kills, it refreshes the cooldown on my active item. The problem is I don't have a lot of interest in cooldowns on my active item. You know, I really like getting cooldowns on this little cloud, by the way. This is an indicator that there's a lunar bud here. That's an active item, so I don't care in the first place. That sounds like, yep, the Magma Worm is dead. Yeah, I don't really need a lot of cooldowns on my active item because of the active item I have right now. So I went ahead and re-rolled that, and after re-rolling it, I ended up getting the, I forget the name of this thing, the Icebound Catalyst or something like that. Gotta go look at this. Camera. The Frost Relic, there we go. Frost Relic is kind of neat. When I kill things, I get a icy AoE around me that hits enemies nearby. It's definitely better on a melee class, but because I can only, you know, reroll something once, there was kind of nothing, you know, there was no way I could do anything about that and maybe, you know, reroll into something a little bit more useful to me. I mean, the turrets are absolutely fantastic. The big change to the turrets being that the turrets get all of the effects you do. So my turrets have my Frostbound Relic, for example, and they get to apply that to themselves. So when my turrets kill something, they get the AoE. My turrets also do grab aggro. You know, enemies will attack my turrets. So all of that kind of adds up to the turrets being very useful, very powerful. And so what the engineer is constantly doing is it's less about you as a attacker in Risk of Rain 2, and it's more about the turrets. Like, let's get them stacked up. So one thing I really wish I had, but I don't really have a lot of right now, is the soldier syringes. My turrets really, really want those items, and the game is just not giving them to me. Every character also has alternate skills. Not for every attack slot, unfortunately. But, like, the NG, for example, has different turrets. Sure. So, the ones I have now are kind of like the auto-attacking, Yep, I want that. They're kind of the auto-attacking, like, machine gun turrets, but there's laser turrets that I have access to as well. And those laser turrets are kind of neat because they actually walk around. They actually chase after you. And when they use their laser effect, it is a constant beam at an enemy that just does X amount of damage per second. So they introduce kind of a very different style of play. You know, you actually do want, like, Bustling Fungus on the standard NG turrets, but on the walking turrets, you don't want Bustling Fungus because Bustling Fungus doesn't do anything for you. You know, the turrets are walking around, so they're never standing still. So it creates this very distinct change in what the NG will usually want. Yes. And let's recycle that. Okay. There's also a distinct change on floor 4, the floor I'm on now. So the Abyssal Depths, which is where you came in, the Abyssal Depths are guaranteed to have a legendary chest. So the large chest, the golden one, that gives you a tier 3 item. The nest that I'm on, however, has a boss. Now, I like the boss a little bit more. The boss is optional, so you see all of these, like, nests I'm breaking. When I break a certain amount of the nests, the boss spawns. In the Abyssal Depths, the chest gives you exactly 1 red item, which, you know, hey, cool, it's a red item, but it's only one of them. Whereas on this level, you get... Okay, so there's the boss. Let's go ahead and drop down here, toss up my turrets, and let's fight this boss. So down here, on the other hand, when I kill this boss... This guy is kind of floating over here. He's kind of hiding from me. When I kill this boss, I will end up getting 1 red item for every player that's currently playing. Now, keep in mind, there's only 1 player playing right now, so it doesn't really matter right now which of the 2 levels I got. But if I was playing multiplayer, getting 2 red items is a pretty big difference. Hey, can we hit that guy? I don't know why he's hiding over there. Usually he'd be attacking. He's kind of supposed to come attack me. Like, aggro him. There we go. That should get his attention. The hell is he doing? Are you glitched? You look glitched. Nope, you're not glitched. He's got this really powerful, like, direct attack that hits like a truck. He spawns friends. Okay, now he's beginning to move over here. This is what I want him to be doing. Like, this boss is a total pain, and it's even more of a pain that he does not want to come in range of my turrets right now. I mean, I have missiles attacking him, so we're getting damage on him, but I'd like him to be over here. Or alternatively, I'd like a banner over there so I can place my freaking turrets in his face. Right now, I'm having to kind of launch from this far away, and this is kind of annoying. I'm not going to be able to see what he's doing. There we go, there's the banner. So otherwise, like, music is just as good as it was. It's still Chris Christodoulou, so the music is done by the same guy. It's still amazing. Okay, so now he's going to start being an asshole. More so than he already was. And I'm watching my health because I kind of figured that was... Oh, I'm dead. Oh my god, I survived. How did I survive that? I don't know. I don't know how I survived that. No. Okay. You die, please. Thank you. Whew. That was a fight. Okay, what did he give me? Okay, he gave me Shattering Justice. I will take it. Absolutely. Whew. That was a tough fight. Okay, another new feature that they added into Risk of Rain 2 is scrappers and 3D printers. So yes, so we do still have the heat-seeking thermal harpoons. It's his secondary weapon that takes the same spot as the invincibility bubble that I use. I personally don't like it all that much, to be honest with you. It's definitely a good skill. It's just the little green bubble that I use blocks all incoming ranged attacks, and I find that to be significantly more powerful than the ranged harpoons. Your mileage may vary a little bit on that one. Okay, I got another tri-tip dagger. Well, in 3D space, you have to actually aim them. That's the big deal. You don't just fire them off. You actually aim them. There's a little heads-up display that'll come up, and you'll lock on to your enemies, and then you'll fire. So it doesn't have quite the same functionality. It is still a really powerful ranged attack. But it's not just, I'm just going to press this button, fire, and forget. You actually have to aim. So I did get some pretty excellent items here. So we got one of the bands. There are 2 rings that you get in this game. Yep. And the rings say that when you do a certain percentage of your maximum damage to an enemy, it fires off an explosion. The red ring fires off a like fiery explosion that deals damage to all enemies nearby, and the white ring fires off a less powerful explosion, but also fires off a slowing effect at the same time. So you kind of have this dual effect, and the rings do stack. So we got the red ring. We got Shattering Justice as our red skill. Shattering Justice is absolutely amazing. Once you hit an enemy, I believe it's 5 times, they get a debuff, which massively reduces their armor. So they just take stupidly high... Hello there, friend. They just take stupidly high levels of damage. I also got the backup mag. The backup mag's okay. It doesn't really... You know, it's not really amazing on the NG. The backup mag just gives you a additional charge of your secondary skill, which for the NG is mines, so now I can have 5 mines. So solid item, but nothing huge. And then the ukulele is the same as it always has been, just a chance of electricity firing off from your target enemy to other enemies dealing damage. I have every character unlocked. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the Cleansing Pool. The Cleansing Pool is a little bit rare. Okay, that's fine. You put in a Lunar Item specifically, and it gives you one of 2 items. Either it gives you the Pearl, or it gives you the Irradiated Pearl. The Irradiated Pearl is significantly rarer. Hey, we got some Magma Worms. And the Pearl massively increases your health. The Irradiated Pearl, if you ever get one, it massively increases all of your stats. It's a 10% increase, which is pretty damn huge in this game. Yeah, once I'm done with this run, I'll go ahead and show off what we got, or what characters I have. We just picked up the Predatory Instincts, also a great item. Predatory Instincts says that if I get a critical hit, my attack speed is massively increased for the next several seconds, and that does stack. It stacks up 3 times. So it's really good for fast auto-attacking characters, and the NG gets pretty fast with his auto-attacks, but it also applies to my turrets. So if my turrets get a crit, they get a stack. So this is actively making my turrets deal more damage, which means my overall DPS goes up. That is the reason that you're seeing me put down turrets again, even though the turret hasn't died. I'm making sure they get the most recent version of all of my items. Yeah, we got a pretty decent HP boost there. Now into floor 5, so we're onto the Sky Meadows. You'll recognize the Sky Meadows. This used to be floor 2. They changed it. It's now floor 5. Ah, that's where I am. Oh, now I know where I am. So the Sky Meadows has multiple functions. It is the, kind of the end of the main run. So it is floor 5. It is a fairly hard level. It has a ton of items. God, these parents. Okay. So tons of items in this level. It allows you to decide, are you looping or are you, are you sticking with the current level that you're on, or the current run that you're on? We will be looping. Finally, an energy drink. An energy drink specifically increases the speed of your sprint, as opposed to your base movement speed, which I find particularly useful. I like having increased sprint. Hey, Happiest Mask. Happiest Mask basically hasn't changed. Killing an enemy has a 7% chance of causing them to become a ghost. That ghost is on your side, attacks your enemies, does massively increased damage. The ghost has a certain amount of health that it spawns with, and the health tick downs constantly, basically making the ghost last for about 30 seconds. Okay. I just wanted to explore this area. This kind of mountain right here is the highest point in the level. And it's a little bit annoying to come back to this area, so I kind of wanted to explore that before I move on. As you can see, drones do make an appearance as well. They're a little bit less useful than their Risk of Rain 1 counterparts, just because they die so damn fast. They're going to be good for probably the remainder of this loop. So, floor 5, maybe number 6. But they very rapidly start falling off as you advance further. I picked up the Tougher Times. It's basically the old Tough Times Teddy. So just a chance that you will just not take damage. And then I finally started getting some of the items we really want to see on NG. I finally got some Bustling Fungus. Because the NG turrets don't move, the Bustling Fungus just grows around them. So it creates a great place for me to hide out, you know, deal some damage, heal myself. The Lunar Pod. Yep, we'll take a second focus convergence. So now the teleporter area will be even smaller than it was, but it charges even faster. That item only stacks up to 3 times, so I can't get very many more of them. I'll go for it if there's another one. I do not mind seeing another one. So you'll see the effect of Bustling Fungus. Bustling Fungus is very, very good on the NG. It's very bad on anyone else, but on the NG, I find it to be a fantastic item. So this entire AoE sitting right here is just going to passively restore my health, restore the health of anybody else, so I can stack both of my turrets on top of each other within that. I don't find it particularly useful to anybody else because no one else really wants to stand still. Standing still and risk of rain is just as much of a death sentence now as it ever was. Yes. And also yes, cool. I did pick up the Squid Turrets. So the Squid Turrets are another kind of interesting item that are kind of in the vein of the fireworks. So Squid Turrets, whenever I activate interactable, which means shrines, chests, you know, turning on drones, what have you. Whenever I activate an interactable, the Squid Turret spawns. It lasts 30 seconds. And it's just a minor turret that just sits there and attacks enemies for me. Doesn't work when I spawn turrets, unfortunately, but there's my Squid Turret right there. Absolutely want another Will-o-the-Wisp. Thank you. Yep, I'll take another tri-tip daggers, but 5 tri-tip daggers. Sitting at about like probably an 80% chance of bleed at this point. All 5. That Berserker Pauldron's pretty awesome too. Kill 3 enemies within 1 second, and you get another stacking attack speed boost. There's the other band. So now I have both rings. I have the white ring and the red ring. So unfortunately, the rings can only activate every 10 seconds. But it makes it pretty darn easy to kill big things. Bosses, Elder Lemurians. I kind of doubt we're going to see a scavenger on this run, but if I do... okay. Well, that happened. That's kind of scary. There are some definite repercussions for falling off the level. You do take falling damage. There is one character who's immune to falling damage. But you do take falling damage when you fall off the level, based on how far you fell. So that could have been very bad if I happened to fall right next to an enemy. This is also going to be falling damage because the game doesn't like me. Go ahead and activate that healing drone. Apparently I'm going to be going back down in order to hit that jump pad again. Reposition my turrets a little bit. Wow, it will not allow me out of here. This is annoying. I have not received a Hoku Feather yet, so I do not have a double jump available to me at the moment. There we go. Still going to take falling damage, but at least I am out of the underground. Parents are just as scary as they used to be. They still have the ability to teleport directly behind you and slam you. They still do a crap ton of damage. I don't know why, but for some reason they removed children from the game, the enemy type. So it's just parents now. So one of the things that happens on this level is we have the Primordial Teleporter, which is the thing that I just interacted with. You didn't see the actual movement of it, but it did have an interaction. The Primordial Teleporter is how you decide if you're leaving to go to the end of the game or if you're moving. If it's aimed at the moon, if it's aligned with the moon, you are going to the end. If it is aligned with the planet, which it is now, that is a looping configuration. So it doesn't work the way it used to. You don't interact with it and then tell it, I want to go here. Nowadays, you set it where you want to go. It's also not something the game tells you. I had to figure that out on my own. I'm gonna go ahead and activate that Newt altar. So we're gonna go back to the Bazaar Between Worlds. You know what? Do this. Then we'll go down below. Finish up our item collecting. One of the things I love about the NG is that when I'm kind of moving around as the NG, it's very easy to just place a turret and then just keep moving. Just have these kind of passive attackers. At least you had a very powerful run. So Deathmark is a really useful item, the one I just picked up. If an enemy has four status effects, and it doesn't matter what the status effects are, it can be 4 of the same or 4 different ones. But if an enemy has 4 status effects, if I have Deathmark, they take double damage from me. I also picked up another fantastic item, Razor Wire. Razor Wire is kind of the old barbed wire. The old barbed wire was really powerful, so the old barbed wire became the Frost Relic. Razor Wire says that if I take damage from an enemy, I shoot back attacking darts that hit that enemy and a couple enemies nearby them as well. Yeah, somehow I'm not surprised we're getting Magma Worms. So you can see just how much smaller my teleporter area is. When you have 3 of the Bogus Convergence, your teleporter is literally the size of this pad. It's very small. So it charges very fast, but I am very, very limited on where I can move and also charge the teleporter. Those are enemies I don't want to deal with right now. Holy crap. This can become very scary on certain boss fights or otherwise, just because of, like, there's no place to dodge. So this shield you see me in, like, attacks cannot get in there normally. There are some exceptions. And unfortunately, on the list of those exceptions is the ground AoE nonsense that the mushrooms do. take a look and see what's going on in the Bazaar Between Time this time around. So it is offering me a third focus convergence. I want to give up 5 greens for that. That's tempting. I'm going to pass, but it's very tempting. 57 Leaf Clover re-rolls your effects. So what I mean by that is that I have a 10% chance with Ukulele to fire off a zap to the next enemies. If I fail that, then 57 Leaf Clover reactivates and rolls it again for me. Go ahead and pick that up. I'm also going to do one more in the hopes that I got something a little bit different. I didn't get the item I wanted, and I'm not willing to spend any more lunar coins to get the item I want. I don't know how I feel about the Cauldrons. They're very good, but you end up really easily losing out on items. Your power level dips because you're giving up, you know, to get 1 red, you're giving up 5 greens. And since you don't get to choose what greens they are, that feels very, feels very useful, but you are very rapidly losing power level because of it. Okay. So one thing I am on the lookout for is I'm on the lookout for a certain enemy type that is currently bombarding me, called a Hermit Crab. Hermit Crabs are like artillery. They shoot from a distance. But what's kind of interesting about them, hey, guaranteed bleeds. What's kind of interesting about Hermit Crabs is that they run away from you when you get close. And there's an achievement for causing a number of them to walk off the edge of the map. And the problem is, I usually have a hard time getting that achievement because I tend to have attacks that are very easy to, like, passively kill Hermit Crabs. But this time, I don't have those attacks. So I might actually be able to get this achievement. Hermit Crabs are what are causing... Yeah, so these are Hermit Crabs right here. So if I walk close to them, they will get up and start scuttling away. So my hope is to get them to walk off the damn level without getting myself killed. So let's see if I can get them. Go on. There's the edge of the level. There goes one. The other one's gonna die, unfortunately, due to passive effects that I have no control over. So that's fine. We at least got one. I might be able to get another one in the near future. Chances are there will be a lot of Hermit Crabs on this map after I beat the Teleporter. So I will have the opportunity to kind of knock some off. I still need to cause like 6 or 7 to walk off the level to get the achievement, which will be getting one of the final items I don't have, actually. So I definitely want to make the attempt. But I didn't say this earlier, so I started talking about this and then kind of stopped just because other things were happening. So there's also the idea of scrappers and 3D printers. So this is a 3D printer. So a 3D printer will make a specific item, and that's all it does. It just makes an item. And what happens is it takes an item from you to make an item. So a green 3D printer will take a green item to make a green item, which in general is a pretty good deal. The problem is that you don't decide what item it takes. It takes randomly from items of that color. The exception to random is scrappers. So scrappers, you choose a stack of items to put in. So you basically put in all of one type of item, all of your soldier syringes, all of your Paul's goat hoods. You put in all of those, and you will get a stack of scrap of that color. So if you put in white items, you get a white stack. If you put in green items, you get a green stack. And scrappers 3D printers prioritize scrap over other items. So that can be a very easy way to turn, you know, what you consider to be trash into treasure. This bubble you see right here, this is a very specific type of elite. So that is a Celestial Elite. Celestial Elites are very scary because they hide enemies. Any enemy near a Celestial Elite is invisible as long as the Celestial Elite is alive. Now, this is not only scary because it's impossible to see those enemies. You can still attack them, you just can't see them. But there's also enemies you start seeing on Loot 2 called Malachite Enemies. Malachite enemies poison you. So the big thing about Malachite enemies is that if they hit you, you can no longer heal for a short period of time, which is a very, very fast way to die. Okay, here's another... Hi. You should be afraid of me. There we go. Nope, he's just gonna flat die because of missiles. Ah, well. Could not get him to actually be frightened enough to stand up until it was too much. So, that is that up there, that is a 3D printer for boss items. Fortunately, I do not have any boss items right now, so I don't really have a way to take advantage of that. Hello. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, this is gonna suck a lot. Where'd it put me? Okay. Got freaking launched. Hi. Nope, you're just not gonna... Okay. This is the problem with, little assholes, is that sometimes they're just not afraid of you until it's too late for them to be afraid. Some of these guys do not seem willing to run away from me. These two might. Because I'm just kind of rolling up, and they haven't really established themselves yet. Nope, I want you to leave. I want you to run. There goes one. Hopefully this one will go too. Yep. Cool. Nope, I'm still right here, buddy. Come on. Nope. Keep moving. Keep moving. Okay, we're gonna drop some turrets. I'm gonna put this behind me. We'll move on. I need to re-roll this banner anyways. I don't need an even bigger banner. Focus Crystal causes you to do more damage to things that are right next to you. Or within a specific distance is more realistic. Oh, come on. Sure. Okay, that sound is a scary sound. That is the sound of a Malachite enemy spawning. This is a Malachite enemy. You see these things there spawning, these green things. Those are mines that will explode and cause that bad shit to happen. You cannot heal shit. We do not want that. Because Malachite enemies are starting to spawn, I am just going to prepare to leave. Now, I will have no space whatsoever to work in here. Look how small my teleporter event is. What did he give me? Okay, that's fine. They gave me an old guillotine, which means that elites die faster. that's absolutely fine by me, because pretty much everything I'm afraid of at this point in the game is an elite of some nature. Malachites are an elite, Celestials are elites. Reavers, when I see them, are effectively elites. Okay. We're going to sit here and we're going to fight for a few moments. And then I'm going to see if I can cause a couple more hermit crabs to run away, because enemies will not spawn after the teleporter event. So we're just going to kind of take a look around and see if there are any more hermit crabs. I don't see any shooting at me, so I'm probably thinking that we're out of them. The personal shield generators that I'm getting are actually doing some pretty good work. They give you a shield that is actually health percentage based. So the higher my health is, the bigger that shield becomes. And yeah, I'm not seeing more. That's a shame. I still have a couple more chances to actually start racking more points towards that achievement. Go ahead and move on. I love the sheer amount of fireworks I have. Okay, the Abandoned Aqueduct can be a very scary level because of some of the enemies that will spawn here. Thinking very silly the Clay Dune Strider. I kind of want this. So that is a red item, and it's a very good one. It is a red item that causes you to shoot out bullets when you heal. And I find it to be extremely powerful. I don't know what I'll replace to get it, but... go ahead and recycle that. I have no idea what it became. I'll find out in a minute. I mean, cautious slug if I can find a scrapper. There's a scrapper. Okay. Cautious slug. So Cautious Slug, I don't really appreciate because it just says outside of combat, it increases my passive health regen. You know, that's great and all, but when am I going to be outside of combat? Meat is basically the same thing. Meat, when I get a kill, it causes the same effect. Which, again, great, but when... meat is when I get a kill, it increases my passive health regen, but it's not all that much. It increases my passive health regen by 2. You know, that's not really a lot at the end of the day. Because I'm checking my items real quick to see if there's anything else I want to throw into this thing. Not really thinking so I think we're going to go and get this item over here. So what's kind of neat about the opinion here, Nikoya's opinion or whatever it is, the Kuhana's opinion, what's kind of neat about that is that because my turrets are in a passive healing area, because of the bustling fungus, they will be constantly shooting out extra attacks. Go ahead and replace those. The boss just spawned. I kind of want crit more than I want attack speed, and I hate to say that. Okay. Right now, we're mostly just kind of moving quickly. what's going to happen is on the 3rd level of this loop, which is the next level, I'm going to be given the option to go to a Celestial Portal. That Celestial Portal gives me the option to obliterate. Oh, crap. Nope, 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 nope. Kill them and move. Kill them and move. Run, 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 run. Okay, it's dead. I'm less scared. Obliterating ends the level. It is very similar to kind of beating the final boss. I don't know why I'd call my points that. It's a very weird thing to call my points. Also, hi, Yugi. Is there a downside to obliterating? Not really. The run just ends. And that's really all obliterating is. It just, you choose to end the run in a choice of your own. There are upsides to obliterating. So there are a number of achievements, one of which I'm going for obliterating. You obliterate on Monsoon, you get or just beat the game on Monsoon, your choice, and you get an extra skin. So that's what I'm going to be doing. In addition to that, obliterating when you have a certain item called Beads of Fealty gives you one last boss fight against a special scavenger. Beating that scavenger gets you 10 lunar coins. So obliterating, you know, has bonuses. How does one beat Risk of Rain? You either obliterate or you kill the final boss. Ow. In our case, we'll be obliterating. There's a Malachite enemy over there that is frightening. It's not necessarily exodiating yourself. So what the game implies based off of, I think the achievement it gives you when you obliterate, I think is what it is. But the game implies you have taken yourself out of this reality and moved yourself to a different reality. And that's what obliterating actually is. God damn it, there's Malachite everywhere. Yeah, and that kind of follows along with the story of the game. I would really like a lot of these enemies to just cease to exist before I press this button. Well, we're going to go for it. We're going to see how badly this goes. Very badly. Very badly. Run, 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 and run. Run like hell. Run like hell. We are leaving. I will be back later when these things are dead. How'd I feel about Sly 4? Didn't play it. Hi, I'm dead. And that's why Clay Dune Striders are scary. Okay. Gonna do one more run. Show off one more character. I showed her off yesterday, but there are people here who weren't here yesterday. So we are running with 3 artifacts this time. We are running with the Artifact of Sacrifice. So the Artifact of Sacrifice says we do not get item chests anymore. Instead, enemies, quite like that one, will just drop items. We are running with the Artifact of Swarms, meaning enemies will spawn twice as often. There'll be twice as many of them, but they have half the normal health. And then we are also running with the Artifact of Command, which says that when an item drops, instead of getting an actual item, I will get a thing I can interact with, where I choose what item I want within that item's rarity. So if a white item drops, I can choose any white item. I don't choose command runs very often just because they are kind of cheesy. You do literally choose your items, and you get to get very powerful very quickly. And with this character, getting very powerful very quickly is kind of sexy. So I am playing as the Artificer, who is the closest thing we have to a mage. She has a lot of extremely powerful attacks. She is an amazing boss killer. She has the ability to hover, which you're seeing me employ right now, which allows me to get out of combat, allows me to move around a lot easier. She has her left click is a kind of a point-and-click fireball. The fireball is the version that I'm using, which sets enemies on fire and deals damage to them. In addition to that, you have the, there's another version of it which does AoE damage, which it doesn't set enemies on fire, so you don't get that fire effect, but you do get kind of AoE damage, which is very good for clearing crowds. She's very bad at killing crowds, so that's a really nice item for her, a really nice ability for her. In addition to that, I have my right click, so my right click is a charge item. No matter which version of it I get. Wow, they're just kind of forcing me back here. So it's a charge attack. Either I get a Spear of Ice, like I'm firing. The Ice Spear is my preferred version of it. Or I get a Ball of Electricity. They have different reasons. The Ball of Electricity arcs. So it has kind of an arc. When you throw it in, you kind of lob it. And as it's flying, it has a electricity that like kind of jets off it and hits enemies nearby, and then it lands in an electric explosion that deals damage to all enemies nearby. The Ice Spear, on the other hand, does not arc. It shoots straight, which is kind of nice. It does fairly large levels of damage to enemies, and it pierces. In addition to that, it does freeze enemies. Freezing effects are basically executions in this game. They put a maximum amount of health that your enemy can have, basically, and if you get their health below that that amount, they just instantly die. So the Artificer kills things. That is the main thing you should know about the Artificer. She is a total glass cannon. She destroys things in a very major way. So because we're going on a command mission, because we're not actually, like, killing, or because we're not, like, you know, opening chests and stuff like that, we really just want to get to the exit and stay there. We've got nothing else we want to do, you know? There's kind of no reason to explore the level. There's no reason to go anywhere. We're just going to go to the exit. Sooner I get to the... God damn it. Sooner I get to the exit, the better. You. Can you stop that? Would appreciate it. Thank you. One never ignores the mountain. Okay, boss time. Of course. You know what? I'm fine with this. I get to have my revenge against you assholes. Or not. If these guys have anything to say about it, holy crap. This is the problem with the Artificer. The Artificer is very bad at crowd control. I got a bunch of items that should help with crowd control, but we're not having a lot of luck so far. She is extremely fragile. And yeah, I'm gonna get shot out of the air. I didn't get, like, anything that would help me actually survive. And that's my own fault. Okay, let's try this again. It was mostly just that there were, as soon as the boss spawned, there were a lot of elite wisps that spawned that shot me like hell, all at once. Wisps are hit scan in this game, so they can be very hard to dodge if you don't have very good movement speed, and I did not opt for good movement speed. Here's the boss. We'll just kind of go straight in. It's kind of no reason on a sacrifice run to not go straight for the boss, I find. It can change a little bit later on in the run when you are significantly more powerful. It can be nice to just kind of hang out. The wisps are just eating me alive here. It can be nice just to hang out and get a bunch of items from enemies. But right now, we're very weak. We got nothing going on right now. So we just want to kill our enemies as fast as humanly possible. Get items, get oof. And unfortunately, we have a ton of wisps. Like, all it's spawning right now are wisps. Which is kind of a problem, because I don't have any crowd control right now. Like, this is a major issue of the Artificers, and the game is just actively taking advantage of this fact. Finally got a single item to spawn. Oh, and I launched straight into it. Ugh. Give me one. With less spawn, if I was on the ground, no. Nope. Spawns don't care where I am. Someone's checking something. Okay. But yeah, so it is one of those things, just like, they're not spawning them in the air because I'm in the air. They're spawning them because that's just what's spawning. Let's see if we can get some items here. I need to get that white item, but the game is kind of being mean about what it's spawning right now. Not really allowing me to do much. There we go. I tell you what, we'll grab one of those. Get a little bit of healing, then I will grab Lensmakers glasses. Okay. So I grabbed myself a medical kit. So the med kit, when I take damage, it restores health after about a 2-second delay. Won't save me from an overkill or anything like that, but it will help out against, like, wisps attacking me. I didn't get, like, I got one drop in the last attempt, and it wasn't a drop I could go for. I just didn't have anything. This is really bad. This is about the worst spawn I could have gotten. I need to run, actually. So the problem with the Wandering Vagrants is that when Wandering Vagrant gets low on health, it does this. Okay, never mind. That one died early. The Wandering Vagrant, when it gets low on health, does a giant AoE splash attack that does absolutely massive damage. It hits a very large portion of the level, so just backing up will not save me from it. The only way to dodge this attack is to break line of sight with the Wandering Vagrant. But you can kind of see how much I have in the way of options to break line of sight with these bosses right now. So I basically have to kill them as fast as possible. Now, they only start doing the attack once they get down to about, 20% health or so. So if I can kill them fast enough, it won't be a problem. You can see these enemies are kind of just doing their own thing. Hopefully that... Okay, so that fire did get it. And drop a little bit. With the express point and purpose of getting in to do that, which will kill them. So that's why I very much wanted that Will-o-the-Wisp. Because that is effectively my, that's my crowd control right now. So it's this attack right here. Thankfully, I killed it before it was able to get that damage off. Unfortunately, there are an awful lot of enemies that still exist right now. Oh, hello. Go away. So it seems like the game was kind of waiting on spawning shit. I'm not sure why it did that. That was uncommonly nice. There's my Will-o-the-Wisp in action. I picked up the Royal Accumulator. It is a absolutely amazing item for the Artificer. Just a gigantic single attack. Now, it's not single target. It can hit multiple targets. But it's this gigantic single attack that does stupid levels of damage. It's very good at killing bosses, putting large amounts of damage on heavy targets. And it has a slight splash. It's got a pretty fast cooldown, too. The first thing we're going to do in the Artificer, we're going to acknowledge that she is kind of the master of burst damage. So we're going to go ahead and just get as many crit as I can, as fast as I can. So I'm already up to about 70% crit. All right, I missed the thread. What were you trying to say? Altar. I didn't glance over because I was in the middle of a fight, and I kind of lost what that comment was on. Oh, you want to? Did you want to see the big attack? I mean, odds are good you will see it at some point. There's actually a boss item that will give me access to the big attack. Like, it actually lets me do it. And I really like that. I really like that item. So if we get a boss item, I'll probably consider getting it because it's actually very good on this character. Also, there's a decent chance you'll see it on other levels. The problem is there was just no place on that level for me to dodge. So if that boss got it off, I probably just would have died. So we got double Beetle Queens all the way across the sky. Beetle Queens don't really have any way of damaging me. The two things they do is they spawn little bugs, and those bugs have an AoE that slows you. Chances are I'm not going to be hit by the bugs in the first place, and an AoE that slows me wouldn't affect me that much. They also have a shot they can shoot, kind of an artillery shot, and that shot does massive damage and puts a AoE on the ground that hurts like hell too. But I'm not on the ground, so that doesn't bother me all that much. So it's really not safe for me to be on the ground right now. I don't have any drone support at the moment. If I had drones, this would be a little bit different. But I have absolutely zero drone support at the moment. So we're just going to be kind of hanging out up here in the sky. I'm not going after any items at the moment. We're going to probably be scouting around for items as soon as the teleporter event ends. I have heard a number of them spawn. Okay. Let's go find some items. So first thing we want to do is we want to max out our crit. I want one of those. I want to max out my crit just so I do even more damage. Now, what's going to be kind of odd is I'm going to stop stacking the crit classes at 9 because 9 is kind of the highest I need them to be. I'm going to be getting some other items that will give me a passive crit chance as well. So the Predatory Instincts you see up there has a passive 5% crit chance right off the bat. I'm also going to be grabbing not Gorag's Opus. I'm going to be grabbing the Berserker's Cauldron, which is also a 5% crit chance right off the bat. Both of those are going to give me the remainder of my crit chance, so I will be ready to rock there. Whoops. Get that. That's fine. So those will be increasing my crit chance, but in addition to that, I'm also going to be getting... there are some boss items that can also give me increased crit chance. But now I have 100% crit, is the notable portion of that. And 100% crit is a sizable amount. It's going to allow me to do a lot of things. I did activate the blue portal, so we're going to go ahead and hop in here. And we're going to see kind of what items I have access to. I don't have a lot of green items, so I cannot get a free red, which is a shame because I would love to have a free red. But there may be like a blue that I might want to snag, depending. I want to go. I'll take either of those. I don't care. I knew. I think the only thing we're going to do for now is we're going to go ahead and grab a passive. And I'm going to grab Beads of Fealty. So Beads of Fealty will allow me to fight a boss at the very end of the run. And that boss will give me multiple lunar coins. Basically pay for the past couple of runs. I mean, it won't pay that much. I'm still negative on lunar coins for tonight. But I'll get some lunar coins back. And then I'll have to decide if I want any other lunar items. Where's my exit? Equipment drone is interesting. Might have to keep an eye on that. Looking for the exit. I haven't spotted it yet. There are telltale sparkles in the air whenever you actually find the exit. Hey, Phoenix. How's it going? Look, there it is. I see it. It's over here. Look at these jerks. Aha! Man, that was a shot. Okay. Ooh, weird place for it to be. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna get the hell away from the Imp Lord. So the Imp Lord doesn't actually have much it can do to us, which I appreciate as a player. The Imp Lord is very much an anti-melee character. And I don't do melee I'm not playing melee, and the Imp Lord just immediately dies. One shot off the Royal Capacitor, because yes. The Royal Capacitor crit says, screw you, Imp Lord, we don't take kindly to your business around here. Imp Lord dies, I laugh my ass off, and then I get a bunch of wisps that prove to me why you should not laugh your ass off when you kill the Imp Lord. Okay, there we go. What I'm gonna do is, extraordinarily quickly, I'm gonna run in here. The Imp Lord is hard in Risk of Rain 2. He hits extremely hard. They kind of buffed him a little bit. Yeah, he hits very hard. He does not take any of your shenanigans. He's a big problem for melee characters. He really is. We're going to get one last Soldier Syringe. The reason I'm grabbing the Soldier Syringe is because it not only increases my basic attack, the speed at which I fling my fireballs, it also increases the speed at which I charge my my passives. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of movement speed. I only want maybe 3 of these. My flight that you're seeing there, I go higher with the more flight I have. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Hi, friend. That's not a bad thing, necessarily. But it does launch me out of the teleporter event, for example. So it means I'm not charging. So I don't want too much base movement speed. If I need more movement speed on top of this, I'll be looking at energy drinks or red wimps. Excellent. So we're going to go straight into Sirens Call. I'm going to kill some stuff right off the bat because get out of my face. We're going to get a red just for killing a boss. So this time, I want to fight the boss without... I don't want to hit the teleporter event early. I want to fight the boss while there are enemies around. And the simple reason why is I want more chances to get free items. So what we're looking for is we're looking for little nests like the one you see down there. Bye, friend. Now I'm going to get a number of backup magazines. I don't know how many I'm going to get. It kind of depends on how saucy I'm feeling. Backup magazines give me more charges for my spear. We like my spear. It does a lot of damage, and it is the primary way I kill enemies. See? Look, dead things. Yep. The difficulty meter did not change. It is fantastic. Hey, that's pretty nice. There's my distant whirring. I need exactly one more nest, which is right there, and my boss is going to spawn. Hi, friends. Did I miss? I must have missed. Did I miss again? Boss, you are casting aspersions on my ability to aim. There we go. As you can see, one boss almost instantly died. There we go. Let's get ourselves off the ground here. Can you not? Can you just not? Please. I'm just gonna kind of come over here and hi. Okay. Ah, man, he got his shield up. I don't like it when he has a shield up. Makes it hard to kill him. Let's get down here. Get down here. Let's get up here. I'm a very mobile character who is a very immobile character. It's actually kind of funny. She's not mobile. This character is extraordinarily slow as kind of a passive thing. So I love the concept of her just being this stupid thing. That purplish blue you saw, that's actually a shield. I don't currently have one, but I will in the near future. Some enemies are, especially certain elites, are able to generate a shield, and that is a special attack that specific version of this boss gets. Is they get to generate a shield around themselves. So as an example of that, there's two types of shields. There's the standard overshield, which works just like Halo does. It kind of builds up, or you know, to a maximum when you don't take damage, and then you lose a little bit, and when you don't take damage, it builds up again. So that's the standard kind of Halo-like overshield. Then there's the Amber Shield that you're going to start seeing me get. The Amber Shield is the true overshield, and the Amber Shield builds up due to certain like attacks, certain effects, and then it gradually ticks down over time. The blue overshield is based on your maximum health, so it is a percentage of your maximum health, whereas the Amber overshield is a total of double of your maximum health. That's its maximum. I don't want to be in here. I don't want to be boxed. I see a little item that I want right now. Let's get out of here. Where did I see? There's the exit. Okay. So I wouldn't mind seeing some green items right now. I am leaving that red item there on purpose because I have to think of what I actually want at the moment. I do not find myself as fast as I want to be. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up another goat hoof. Hi. Still not quite there. I probably want one more goat hoof, but that's fine. I will easily get another white item throughout the course of this boss event. So the Magma Worm is just, it's not a threat to me. It stays down there. It has no way to really reach me. So the Magma Worm isn't a threat. Every other enemy in the sky right now is. Those jellyfish can kind of hit for trucks. And the birds, they are no slouches either. They kind of hit, and they hit hard. They know what they're about. Okay. Well, I said we weren't getting much the way of greens, and the game has certainly made an effort to give me some. %51% on the teleport charger. It's remarkably hard to charge the teleporter with focus convergence with this character, because you do not want to be in that up close and personal space with her. Okay. Out of my way. He'll probably die. No. Absolutely not. No. No. Brass contraptions scare me a fair bit. We don't want to deal with them. Okay. So I want 1 or 2 more of those. Let's just go ahead and kill this guy. Do I have a red ring? I do not have a red ring. Let's get one of those. I want another of these. So what I'm doing is I am passively stacking ways for me to do significantly more damage. So the red and the white rings just cause you to do just large amounts of damage. So those kind of make sense in a, I just want these because I want to do more damage to my enemies. The crowbar causes me to do more damage to full health enemies. And chances are, most of the enemies, when I attack them, they're going to be at full health. So it kind of makes sense to have, to kind of get more crowbars. What do I want here? I want a Brilliant Behemoth. It'll help a little bit with my AoE. Let's get off the ground. There is, technically, you can have up to 255 of any item. There are some items that cap underneath that. But there is no maximum cap of, like, the actual number of items you can have. Ah, there's the teleporter. I see it. So that massive damage you saw done, that's an elite. And I'm going to do massive damage to it because I'm actually building my character to make sure that it's one hit, you know? One hit takes out a guy. Okay, so we've got another fight with Magma Worms. We already saw that Magma Worms do not really bother me. It's other things. Like, for example, those things that bother me. Need to get away. Need to get away. Get into the sky. Get into the sky. Okay. Yeah, I'm not worried about Magma Worms. I am absolutely worried about brass contraptions. Oh, apparently I got sniped by a wisp. That happens. Shame. Okay. Well, I think that's going to be about it for me today, guys. That was good 3 hours. There will be more, I think, starting tonight or tomorrow. And it fast, yeah, it usually does. It's usually like this instantaneous, like, well, there goes my health. That's how the game usually ends. Yeah, I think either tonight or tomorrow, one of the 2 days, I'm going to start putting the offline playthrough onto YouTube. So you can watch from when I started playing this. I actually went in pretty blind into Risk of Rain 2. So you get to watch me flail about and flap about. So it'll be going up either tonight or tomorrow. But for now, thank you for watching, folks. I love you all. I'll catch you next time.